violence, riots, unrests. Behind all this is one troublemaker that sows the seeds of instability and conflict in different parts of the world.
All of you in this room have good reason to be proud.
The National Endowment for Democracy, or NED, was founded in 1983. A legacy of the Reagan administration. It is ostensibly an NGO that promotes democracy abroad and claims to be dedicated to the development of human rights, independent media, and the rule of law in other countries. However, is this really the case? This is Victoria Nuland, an official of the U.S. Department of State, who also happens to be an NED expert and board member. Nuland appeared in Ukraine on November 21, 2013, when the country was mired in political turmoil. In a leaked telephone conversation, Nuland and Jeffrey Pyatt, then U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, discussed the hand-picking candidates for a new Ukrainian government, showing how deeply they were involved in the opposition's political campaign.
In terms of him not going into the government, just let him sort of stay out and do his political homework and stuff.
I think Yats is the guy who's got the economic experience, the governing experience.
Suspiciously, records of aid or financial support for Ukraine have been removed from NED's website. However, clues about NED budget document collected by media can still be found on the website of Monthly Review. The document details NED's financial support for various organizations in Ukraine. The number of projects funded, as well as the amount of funds, are staggering. This is not the first time that NED, a cover for the U.S. government, interfered with democratic election in Ukraine. NED interfered in the Ukrainian presidential election of 2004. It backed the pro-American candidate Yushchenko, who led the Orange Revolution to overturn the election result and eventually became the president. To help the opposition seize power, the United States, through NED and other government agencies, plowed billions of dollars into supporting anti-government organizations, journalists, judges, and trade unionists, according to the Canadian Dimension. According to the Boston Globe, NED praises an organization as an independent agent of freedom and liberation once it agrees to accept money from the United States. That is the definition of independence and freedom in NED's dictionary. As interfering other countries' affairs is prohibited by UN conventions and international law, NED plays the role of de facto CIA when it is inconvenient for the latter to operate openly. It intervenes on behalf of the US under the pretense of promoting democracy. Alan Weinstein, founder of NED, confessed with the Washington Post in an interview in 1991 that a lot of what they were doing was what the CIA had done 25 years ago. NED was therefore known globally as the second CIA.
Nowadays, instead of having just the CIA going around behind the scenes and trying to manipulate the process secretly by inserting money here and instructions there and so forth, they have now a sidekick, which is this National Endowment for Democracy, NED.
NED has four main institutions: National Democratic Institute, International Republican Institute, American Center for International Labor Solidarity, Center for International Private Enterprise. Through these institutions, NED masterminded separatist riots, regime changes, political crisis, disinformation. Ukraine is just one of its numerous targets. NED was also an important enabler of the Arab Spring, providing financial support to pro-America individuals and groups. It exported anti-government propaganda, incited color revolutions, and plunged the Arab world into conflicts, unrest, and recession. NED instigated the color revolution in Bolivia, forcing President Evo Morales to resign and go into exile, creating political instability in Belarus. The United States masterminded color revolution against the Belarusian government. In addition, NED orchestrated violent coup in Haiti, influenced elections and constitutional referenda in Kyrgyzstan, stirred up protests and confrontations in Thailand, incited oppositions in Nicaragua to seize power by force, interfered in Mongolia's parliamentary elections, and Uganda's presidential election. Turmoil, violence, catastrophe. Behind all this, a troublemaker is pulling the strings. It hides under the cover of promoting democracy and human rights. But what lie beneath the glorified pretense? Is it hypocrisy, selfishness, hegemony, or something even darker? Only time will tell.